Today is May 17th, 2020. This is Mr. Abundance. I would like to take this time to welcome welcome the welcome the community of Tiashans. It's always a pleasure coming to you, and you know we do this every Friday at 2 p.m. Um, Eastern Standard Time or 7 p.m. West Central African Time. So please subscribe to my channel so you know when I am live. For those of you who are just joining us, I would also like to appreciate and acknowledge our newest executive members. We have Miss Trisha NG Pondoka. She is our national executive coordinator for Namibia, and also her assistant is Mistress Ruha Tulonga Kathingo. And so we want to thank both of you for accepting the challenge and the opportunity to change the lives of humanity across the globe, because you're not just affecting Africa. TACC is a global mission. And we also want to acknowledge Mr. Shepherd Duby, our National Executive Coordinator for Zimbabwe. We appreciate you, sir, and we look forward to seeing greater things and better things come out of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a country that TACC needs to take over. That country is running down, and we know exactly why Zimbabwe the way it is. Just like Haiti, anytime a country decided to move away from the colonialist movement, the world, the elite system showed them what they should not have done. And those who are looking on, it's like a warning. But their days are numbered. With TACC, their days are numbered. And so I welcome and I appreciate those of you who are here. All right, so we also have to do, as usual, personal development. We spoke about the visionary, the pace setter mindset. We also speak about the majority and the poor mindset. And so we went over a few sessions so far. The wealthy mindset, the visionary mindset, these are people that have a delayed gratification mindset. These are people that have a wealthy mindset and is willing to take risk, understanding that failure, losing is a part of the process of winning. We spoke about these are people that have a positive attitude, using language such as, if others can do it, I can do it too. We spoke about these are visionaries that are decisive. They are quick to decide and slow to change their minds. On the other side, we spoke about the general population. They have an immediate gratification, settling for short-term pain for long-term gain. We also spoke about these are people that generally do avoid risk because of the fear of failure. These are people that you will find always have a negative attitude. They never have the time. They always think it's too hard, it is too difficult. These are people that are indecisive. They are very slow to make decisions and quick to change their mind. Fear and uncertainty and doubt are inherent in their personality. Today, we will move the needle a little further because it is very important to develop oneself. Money doesn't make anyone a millionaire or a billionaire. It's the mind. If you're going to change your present condition, it starts with the mind. Nothing rises above the mind. Your ability to think. Nothing that you now see gave birth out of nowhere. Everything that you now see in the physical landscape of time and space were first given birth in the mind. It was first an idea. And if you're going to change, or if you don't like what you are seeing, then you can do something about it because it's not permanent. It's not permanent. And so the visionaries, they seek opportunity. They want to develop, achieve, and excel. I'm not too sure who said if it was Jim Rohn or Bernard Shaw that says when you look around, when the pace setters and the go-getters, when they look around and they do not see an opportunity, they create it. And so go-getters, visionaries, the wealthy mindset, they seek opportunity. They want to develop, achieve, and excel. They do what the majority are unwilling, not unable, just unwilling to do. They realize that people who play it safe continually miss opportunities and seldom make progress. The general population, they seek security. They desire a safe path. They seek a profession or a job. But such a thing, as you know, is virtually non-existent today. And even if it was, it would provide little chance of attaining financial independence. And that is what the general population do. They seek a safe path. They desire a safe and secure job. They avoid risk. And, you know, I call them, in business, you have the Abrahams and you have the Thomases. The Thomases are those that will, by the way, the Thomases are not foundation material. The Thomases are in the majority, but they are not foundation material. And so you invite a Thomas at the foundation, you're wasting your time because they don't see how this structure is going to be completed. Because this is a house that the world has never seen. And so for you to bring a Thomas, they have to see you begin to make money. They have to see you driving that car. They have to see you in that house. And even when they see you driving and see you in that house, they will still not believe. They will still not believe. And so what you're looking for are the Abrahams. And by the way, some of the Thomases that you think that will come now will disappoint you. And so you're looking for the Abrahams. These are people that you do not have to say to them one word and they will understand everything you're saying. The Abrahams, they only have to look and observe and watch the signs of the times. You don't have to say anything. While the general population, you will speak 1,000 words and they will not understand one. Isn't what the Bible says? One word is good enough for the wise, but it will take 1,000 to convince a fool. And so goal setting is also very critical in one's development. And so today we will look at what is really goal setting and how does it apply to TACC. Now, our goal in TACC is very clear. Our goal is it is huge, but it also has different parts to make the whole. And that is what a dream is, that is what a goal is all about. It should be huge. By the way, first it has to be clear. You have to know exactly what do you want. A lot of us don't know what we want. A lot of us want to score goal without a goal post. It doesn't work that way. And so first, you have to know exactly what do you want. I said to you the other day, and write it down. It must be big. It must be challenging. It must take you from your comfort zone, but it should be doable. It must be doable. And you need to spell out. You need to spell out, why do I need to achieve it? And if I do not achieve it, what will be the outcome? I always quote that life is a fight for territory. And if you fail to fight for what you want, what you do not want will take over. It's the same thing with goal and goal setting. When you set your goal, ask yourself, if I do not achieve it, what will be the reality or the outcome? List the obstacles that you are likely to face and how you will overcome them. Also, you need to identify people and groups and organizations that will help you. You also need to have an action plan. Are you seeing everything I am saying to you is intact? It also must be time sensitive. That's a goal now. Do you see everything that I am now saying? And this can be personal and it can also go for a company. TACC, we have a time. It is time sensitive. From the day we start, everything was time sensitive. The way in which we raise the funds to bring the coin was time sensitive. The special project, how we raise the money for the radio and the television, was time sensitive. The goal was very clear, and we knew what we had to do. We knew the systems that we had to bring in place. We knew exactly what structure we need to put in place to accomplish what we did. And we knew exactly what we need to do every day. Because a goal is big and huge, but at the same time, you must do things every day that brings you closer to your goals. And so everything that I am saying to you today, we have already done it. And we have a moment task before us, which is the 2.5, and what do we need to do to realize in 27 days. Now, that is a goal. It is very clear what we want. We need to raise 2.5. Spread over a couple of months. It is true. But I have also set a goal that it can be done in 27 days. And so if that is the case, Mr. Abundance, what is the plan? Because every goal must have a plan. It must be clear. You must know exactly what you want. It must be doable. And you must be able to do things every day towards that goal. And so I will share my screen so that as I go through this, all right. So here we are, the soft cap that we are aiming to reach in the period from March 30th to December is 2.5. That is the period that we have. And the coin goes, those public sales are down in 3 rounds. But how can we achieve it in the first round with 27 days left? And so we have available 10 million coins are available to be sold in this round. If all those coins are sold, we will arrive at our 2.5 million. Now sold so far is 71,682. Days left 27. Coin unsold 9,928,318. Now, if we divide 27 days into 9,928,318, we get 367,715 coins. Now, if we use, or if 2,000 TACC decided, okay, how can we achieve this? What would we need to do? That's 2,000. We have nearly 4,000 TACC. So let's use 2,000, because I've always said one person with commitment is better than 10,000 persons with interest. And so we divide 2,000 into 367,715. It means that each TACC will have to ensure that they go out there, spread the vision, the mission, and have 187 coins being bought or invested in. Get investors to invest in at least 184 coins, or at least 46 US a day. Each person will have to basically ensure. Now, saying this, we know that a lot of people would buy more than $46. Some will buy 100, some will buy 500, some will buy 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 coin. We have had that in the past, so it is possible. Now, if we had 3,000 people doing the same, you're talking about then each person is responsible to ensure that 123 coin is sold by their effort, or a mere 30 US dollars a day. That is how simple. That is how simple. And if we're supposed to add 4,000 TACC doing this, you're talking about what, $15 a day to ensure that you amplify the vision and get new, especially at this time when the coin is at 25 cents. This is the time when the coin needs to be in the hands of those who need it most. Don't wait until it reaches $1, because $1 will only give you 1 TACC. Today it gives you 4. If you had 4 Bitcoin today, you would, what, 9 4s are what, 36? At least you'd have had probably about 40,000 US dollars today. 4 Bitcoin would give you at least 40,000 today. So $1, and that is what the 1% don't want us to realize that in unity we can accomplish. In unity, we do not need the 1%. You know why we need them? Because we're divided. I did a recording, an audio one day of $1. If each of us, if a million person give $1, and you keep your $1 in your hand, where is the power? Where is the power? That $1 invest in TACC will give you 4 coins. That $1 in your hand remains $1. It remains $1. But when that TACC goes on the exchange that first day, that $1 gives you $4. When TACC goes to 5, that $1 gives you $20. When TACC goes to 100 per coin, that same dollar in unity, in strength, now give you $400. When TACC goes to 1,000, that $1, you did not invest no more than 1, but that $1 that you invested, all because of unity of purpose, that $1 now becomes 4,000. When TACC goes to 10,000, that same dollar, I am showing you the power of unity with a progressive vision, a vision of the future, because the memories of the past and the present will not do it for us. Your memories of the past and the present do not change any culture. You have to move forward. You have to let the past guide you forward, not backwards. And you cannot be looking back and going forward. It's a recipe for disaster. And so that $1, when TACC goes to 20,000 a TACC, that same $1 now gives you what? 80,000. 80,000. When TACC goes to 50,000, that $1, because you pull it together, it now becomes 200,000. That is what we have in TACC. That is what we have in TACC. Bitcoin does not have our structure. Look at the enormous structure that we have in TACC. And so anything is possible and everything is possible, but we are the ones to make it happen. And so I will now go into your questions. I think, okay, we did that already. And so we're now going down to your questions. Mr. Abundance, good evening, my boss. We shall be there. We shall, I believe he wanted to say, we shall be there. Stephen. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. This is Jamie from Jamaica. Good evening to all. Jamie from Jamaica. I have not had, I don't think I ever had anybody from Jamaica. And so you are welcome. I know that I'm supposed to be having a leader from there. I'm not too sure if that is you, but please, if that's you, you need to WhatsApp me, because we do not have a leadership in Jamaica. We have in the Bahamas, we have in St. Croix and the Virgin Islands, we have in Trinidad, in Antigua, but all right. So hook up with me. Hello, colleagues. We are ready here in Namibia. We want to thank our leaders there who came on board this week. Thank you very much for taking up the challenge. Our European ambassador, TJ. Yes, she's welcoming all the newbies. Good evening, everyone. Mr. Taylor over there in the Bahamas. Good evening. And don't forget, we are doing this. Listen to me. TACC will go down in the Guinness Book of Record for more than one thing. It will go down as the vehicle that cancel generational financial atrocities. It will go down as a vehicle that we came from all across the continent have not met, but we rally behind of a vision and we were able to do it. It will go down the Guinness Book of Record for so many things. It's not funny. Not to mention, we did it. We did it in the worst financial depression that this world has ever seen. We have never seen this. I said PhD students will study this model for decades. Historians will write about how did they do it. Are people that don't know who they are people that were conditioned to hate themselves, are people that has been given the title of a global slave. How did they do it? I said, your children will bless you for generation for having canceled this curse, because it is a curse. And so we must struggle on. According to Frederick Douglass says, if there is no struggle, there is no progress. And so we struggle on. And that is what the 1% don't want us to do, to unite. They don't want you to understand what is cryptocurrency. They don't want you to understand what unity can do. And so they will put you against me and me against you. They know exactly what moves us. We are full with greed. We are full with ignorance. And we are filled with selfishness. And so that is how the 1% were able to free us physically, but not financially. And so they gave us freedom to work and to educate ourselves, but not financial freedom. And if you're not financially free, may I say to you, you're still in slavery. You're still in slavery. Look at your community. Look at the house where you now live. Look at your children. Ask yourself, is that a true representation of who am I? Ask yourself the question, the income that I am now getting, is it a sum total of who I am? Is it really a sum total? Because that is what the experts say now. Whatever you earn is a sum total of who you are. I'm asking you the question, are you happy with the house you live in, the car that you drive? Are you happy with the streets, the infrastructure development in your country? Are you happy that you're getting clean drinking water when you want it? Are you happy with the condition of your house, your education, your ability to support your children and your family and your community? Are you happy with what you are getting or what you are receiving? If not, there is a better way, but we have to do it with unity. You can't do it by yourself. This is over 500 years of financial genocide. You can't do it by yourself. You'll be fooling yourself. And that is why every time you hear a Pan-Africanist, a freedom fighter opens his mouth, no matter where, they don't know about TACC, but everything that they're saying, TACC, everything points back to TACC. I said, every ship that is sailing in the same direction where TACC is going, TACC can swallow all of them. TACC mission, vision can take in all of them, and there will still room left. But we cannot say the opposite. Listen to Professor PLO. Listen to Thomas Sankara, former president of Burkina Faso. Listen to Samora Michel, former president of Mozambique. Listen to Patrice Lumumba of the Congolese. Listen to Haile Selassie. Listen to the Mandelas. Listen to the Aricanas. Listen to them carefully. Listen to the Garveys, the Martin Luther King Jr.'s. Listen to them. Listen to Muammar Gaddafi. Everything that they talk about Africa can become, you will find it in TACC. That is why we will pay the debt of Africa. We will free her of her debtors, and we will pack them going. Let we, the sons and daughters of Africa, manage her oil field, her copper fields, her diamond wells, her minerals, her agricultural lands. We can do it. Africa can feed the world. I did not realize that it only takes me 5 hours and a half from Antigua to Nigeria. I didn't know that. The study was already done. That to cross the Atlantic from Lagos, Nigeria to Antigua is only 5.5 hours. From Antigua to New York is 4 hours. I took from Orlando, Florida to Colombia in South America is 5 hours. From Antigua to London is 7.5 hours. I flew from Newark, New Jersey to Belgium. That is 7 hours. From Belgium to Cameroon, that is over 6 hours. I am saying to my people that we not only get airlines, but we will have ship lines. We will have airlines and ship lines, because the Caribbean, you must know, we import 98% of what we consume, and everything we consume can come from Africa. I said that is why we have to open our eyes. We are our problems, especially the house niggers, those that do not know who they are. They don't know who they are. And I make no apologies. They have not made any apologies for the atrocities of slavery and the inhumane treatment. They have not come and reconciled with us. They have not said, you know what, we are sorry for what our forefathers have done, and that, you know, let us share the wealth among you, we have squeezed the wealth out of you. No, they have not done that. The 1%, they have not done that. Good evening, Gwetia Shen. Thank you, our Director of Training, Global Ambassador, Youth Ambassador. Good evening, Gabriel. We are insert ready to build TACC. Thank you very much. And I think that is our newest director down there in Namibia. These are places I have to go. May I say to you, Mr. Taylor and Mr. Anthony. Anthony is from Trinidad. Oh, and Prince. Prince, you're originally from Jamaica, but Prince, you are in UK. And so you have Prince in the UK, Anthony in Trinidad, Taylor in the Bahamas. Oh, and of course we have Neil George in Antigua. Gentlemen, the next time I go to Africa, I don't know when I'm coming back this way. I say no more. I said, when I go to Africa, I don't know when I'm coming back this way. And when I do come, will I come alone? Will I come back? Mr. Abundance, when you come back this way, will you come back alone? Now, that is the question that I don't know if I can answer. But Mr. Anthony and my good friend in London, you guys have to stay put. Good day to all the Tiashans in the house. Good day, Mr. Anthony. Good day, sir. Mr. Abundance, is there any difference between coins and members in this? I mean, 10,000 coins and 10 million people. What is the difference? What's the relation? All right. No, there is no relation between the 10 million coins and the 10 million people. We are saying that to realize the soft cap, for us to realize the soft cap, which is the 2.5 million, mathematics will tell you you need to make 10 million coins available to be sold, because the coin is now at 25 cents. And so when you do the mathematics, you need to make available 10 million coins. So when you buy your coins, you have them in your wallet. So that is the coin, the 10 million coins. And why 10 million coins? Now we are saying that, and by the way, we are still on schedule to have 10 million people in 5 months. We are still on schedule. We are actually in front of schedule with that one. And you might say, then why are we not ahead of schedule with our 2.5? No, because a lot of these members that you see now, they are founding members actually. So what they did, they just opened their wallet, and so they're now counted as a member. But they would have already invested, prepaid for their coins, and so they have their coins already, because they prepaid for them so that we could have liquid to create the coin today. And so we still need our 10 million people, because it's all about this thing is a numbers game. Huh? Always remember, this is a numbers game. Which country can ignore 10 million people? What I'm saying, that every strategy that TACC has in place is not by chance. Listen to me, I already told you guys, I am not a rookie when it comes to leadership. I know what is leadership. I don't even have to be awake to lead. I understand leadership very well. And so everything that you see Mr. Abundance put in place is not by mistake. I told you already, when I went on my real job, because the first job I had was a health inspector job with the government, which my mother thought I will have until I retire. But my second real job was in the hospitality industry. And so when I went in there, I met people who were there for 10, 15 years, and they would have taught me. But in less than 4 years, I was their manager, managing them. Then how did you do it? I am not one to copy and paste anything I'm being taught. I will learn from you. I will see but I can tell. I can tell who is doing it right. I can tell who is doing it wrong. And I make sure that I go and I learn from those who know. That's how you do it. And don't copy. Do not copy what they're doing. Take information, learn from people, but create your own style and flair. Because you are unique. That is our problem. We go to school, we do everything what we see done in the classroom, we go on the job, and we still do what they're saying. This box mentality. You cannot achieve anything great in a box. And so on the job, amongst 40 managers, I got manager of the year. It's not because I am handsome. Of course, I know that. But that wasn't a factor for me to get manager of the year. Actually, I got all the awards that hotel has to offer, from employee of the month to employee of the year. I didn't get supervisor of the year because I only stayed 6 months as supervisor and senior supervisor before I went into management. We cannot copy and paste anything. You learn from people, but create your own style. Create your own style. Together we can. Greetings, Sir Christopher. I believe you're from Ghana. Nigeria. Undufe, Akpan. Good evening, my dear mentor leader. My name is Paul Akpan Undufe from Nigeria. I want to thank God on your behalf, making me to be a partaker of this historical era. It is a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know that this blockchain cryptocurrency will turn out to be bigger than the housing market. It's going to be bigger than the oil market. It's going to be bigger than the tech market. A matter of fact, it is going to be bigger than all three put together. All three put together. And some of you are playing the fool. Some of you are playing the fool. You can speak to Prince, Cynthia Brown. Good. You can speak to Prince, my host in London. He had the opportunity to have over 400 million US dollars in Bitcoin today. He had the opportunity. Somebody thought of him and introduced him to Bitcoin, but he could not see it because he was running behind of a job. He could not see. He was running behind of a job, a couple cents. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. We appreciate your leadership and divine wisdom bestowed upon you. Greetings, global community and TACC. All things are possible with positive mindset. Thank you, my regional. And may I say, and also, in TACC, we have no gender bias. We are colorblind, and we have no gender bias. We have a target audience. We know who we are. We know where we're going. And the door is open because you cannot exhaust TACC. You cannot exhaust TACC. It will chew you up and spit you out. That's what we have here. And so, Madam Nosifo Kwebi, she was our the first appointee to ever hold the regional position in TACC in terms of in Africa, the southern region, and then we had Bishop Godswill who take the west. We have the east, we have the the North, and we have Central. And so I am still looking at performances, and I'm still looking at coordination. I'm still looking to see how those leaders in those areas are performing, because it's all about performance. It's not being a founding member. No one should get any position because they're just a founding member. Some of you are founding member and you don't even know you're a founding member. You don't even know what is the acronym of TACC, but you're a founding member because you're a wandering generality. Still keep on wandering after everything. And so you wander here and you wander there. You jump in here, you jump here, and you jump here. You jump like a drunken man. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Good evening, house. Yes, good evening, sir. Blessings. Warm greetings to you, Mr. Abundance, my fellow TACCians. Together we can and together we will. Madame Lisica Mbantini. You know, this morning I called her name. I said, leadership is not a position. A lot of you still holding on to position. That is the 80s and the 90s and certain part of the 21st century. That position was everything, was leadership. No, leadership is influence. The progressive leaders know that leadership is not a position. And Lisika, you have demonstrated not being a national executive, nor a system, nor a regional, but yet still your work went through the breadth at the highest level in TACC. Your contribution were commended. And that is what leadership is all about. It's not a position. What are you doing in your corner? Because there is nobody in TACC, including myself, is more important than any one of you. A matter of fact, if I could hide myself and strip myself of my position, I would have done it. If I could strip myself, but because how the coin is structured, it needs that position to be in place. Else we would have defaulted on being a utility coin. But position never gets to Mr. Abundant. I told you already, in 1999, the former minister, now deceased, Veer Bird Jr., I handed him my resignation as the executive administrative assistant. Some of you from Antigua at Diamonds, I was posted there, hired by the board and the chairman of the board, which was Senator Rupert Sterling. I was hired, but 6 months on the job, I realized that the system in place does not reflect Mr. Abundance character nor integrity. I don't work like that. There are some people who are collecting government salaries and they're doing nothing. You call them political appointee. That does not serve me. And I will never be a loss to anyone. If I cannot be a profit, I said I will never operate at a loss. And that's my philosophy in life. Anything I do, I must bring profit. And being in that position, I was well paid, traveling allowance, and there were no CEO at the time. So I report directly to the chairman of the board and the senator. And I went 6 months later. A matter of fact, 3 months on the job. The minister, the assistant minister, the director, the permanent secretary, they all came. And they said, Mr. Williams, but for now, Mr. Abundance, my goodness, you are transforming this corporation. I said, well, that's what you hired me for. But yet still, there were policies that they were not willing to change. And as soon as I begin to make changes, then this calling the minister, that calling the minister, minister, this is calling me, minister, that is calling me, Mr. Abundance, what is happening? I said, I am here to do a job. I am not a politician. I am not running for an election. I am being paid to do a job, and I'm going to do it. And 6 months later, I went into Via Bird Jr., now deceased office. A matter of fact, is the longest resignation letter I have ever written in my life. It was a book. And he said, Mr. Abundance, I will not accept your resignation letter. I will now promote you to the CEO of the corporation. Here is the minister, full minister of government. He was not the assistant minister. He was the full minister of agriculture, lands, and fisheries. And this happened 1999. And I looked at the minister and I said, Mr. Minister, I thank you for the confidence that you have imposed in me. But may I say to you, sir, your government and ministry is not ready yet for Mr. Abundance. And I left the minister around his desk, and it was December. I will never forget that year, 1999 December. I left the minister's desk, his offer of promotion, and I didn't have a job to go to. That is Mr. Abundant. So when I say to you guys that I am not moved by position or money, believe what I tell you, because I am not only saying it, but I have demonstrated it, and the records are there to prove. All right. Now let us, good evening, Ansley Griffith. Good evening. Good evening, all. Good evening, Carl. Good evening, Pat Online International School. Hello, Mr. Abundance. Hello to all. Sure, we will make it by the grace of God. The present result is due to adoption. The present result is due to adoption. Mr. Calvin Yemen, thank you very much, sir. Deputy Chair. The power of $1. That lesson has never left me since then. No, it is really true. The power of $1. What $1 can do with unity of purpose. Because that $1 in your hand remains $1. But when it puts to me, it becomes $2. And it now have greater spending power. When we put $2 together, then when we put $4 and $5 together, it gives you a greater spending power. That is what the elites don't want us to know. That we are indeed our own enemy. And we do not need the Carter Foundation. The Carter Foundation, these are criminal organizations who have adopted Henry Kissinger's policy of depopulation. So when you see them in your country, they're not there to help you. They are there to sterilize you. They are there to inject you with the AIDS virus. They're there to inject you with the Ebola virus. A matter of fact, they are now there to inject you with coronavirus. That is what they will do. That is why they're not looking at Madagascar. They don't want Madagascar. And look who is the head of WHO. Your son, your brother. They could only use a black man to do it because they prey on our greed. Just like the leaders, they prey on our greed. They know where we're weakest. Helena, good evening. Talk about the devil. Talk about the devil. That is a prince. One thing I can say, he was a good host. I was treated royal while I was in London, but I will not go on that aircraft. The Tiashans already warned me, sir. So don't even bring that up again. Good evening, Big Boss. Good evening. Blessing Goodwin. Greetings to our able leader, Mr. Abundance. All Tiashans in the house. Together we will do it. Okay, we have a couple more minutes before we wrap up. We don't want to go over an hour. We are fortunate to have you, Mr. Abundance, as our teacher. Thank you very much. Trust me, I am learning and I am very humble. I am very humble. I am your chief servant. I seek for nothing. All I seek for a better world. All I seek for is to cancel this artificial scarcity that we have and to live in abundance. All I care for is unity of purpose, and that we can get rid of the debts and the stranglehold that China, especially China, because they are coming, like what the Bible said, to steal and to destroy. They are coming to steal and to destroy, and we cannot allow that to happen. If our forefathers were blind, we are not. And a lot of you need to listen and read the story of Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass had a very interesting experience when the mistress was teaching him how to write and read. When the master of the house realized that, he told the mistress, "What are you doing? It's a grave mistake. You don't teach slaves how to read. They will never remain a slave." And so now that we are free and we are not physically enslaved, but financially, they have still come around, the 1%, and are paying our politicians to put us back into slavery. We fought to get our freedom and our lands, but they're not putting us back because of their ineptness in leadership. They don't know how to lead, but you know how they got there. These are people and leaders who are put there by the Western government to do their bidding. Don't think that they're there on their own. They are not there on their own. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Someone asks, can $20 make one become a financial free? $1. I already told you, I already showed you the power of $1. $1 today in TACC can give you financial freedom, not 20, $1. Good evening, big boy. All the Tiashans in the house, yes. Good evening, Mr. Abundance from Nigeria. Frederick Oko from Nigeria. We shall get there. Thank you very much, sir. We have done it before, and we will do it again. And also, someone asks, where is the office of TACC? Ask them where the office of Bitcoin. Ask them where's the office of Bitcoin, and I sure bet they're spending Bitcoin. and by the way, we do have an officer. We do have an office, and probably the next time I will bring it up on the screen. I don't remember exactly. By the way, let these people know that we are a legal entity. Let them know that we are a legal entity and that we have our certificates of incorporation. Okay. And of course, TACC has his office. I forget what the Long Street, Antigua. Okay, that is where the company is registered. Now, in terms of operational office, We are not there yet. We have persons have their offices representing TACC here and there, but in terms of corporate office, we are not there yet. We have to certify the coin first, all right? But in terms of legality and footing, we have it all. Sir, can you please assist by repeating how to buy coins and how to invest our coin? People and members want to buy coin, but we want to have it clear. Can you please assist in repeating how to buy coins? I think we have a training going on in the group, and so I don't want this to be too long because I want everybody to watch it. So we will have your question another time earlier in the program. So I'm not winding down because this is now going over an hour. So, but those questions can be asked in the forum, and my admin will definitely speak to you. And if you want special training for your people, also indicate. We have a department of training. Any help you need, just speak it and it shall be done. Be conscious of your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words become your own actions, the action become your habits become your own. This becomes the reality. Thank you very much. Next. Okay, I think that, oh, I thought that was the last. Is it not? Okay. Mr. Abundance, God is very happy with you and he's supporting TACC 100%. Amen. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Florence. Special greeting from the TACC in Cameroon. We are so proud of you and the great job you're doing. Thank you very much, Pastor. Pastor Foster, you're welcome. TACC is Africa freedom. Our freedom, my freedom. And that's it. So to end it all today, this could not be a better thought. I said the Chinese and the Europeans and the Americans, they are nothing without Africa. Keep that in mind. The Chinese, the Americans, and the Europeans, they are nothing without Africa. And I think the former president of France said it. If it wasn't for Africa, there would be less than a third world country. So we don't need the world. The world needs us. And so we will free ourselves. They will not free us. They have never freed us. We had to fight for freedom, and don't expect them to free us now. And so I want to thank each and every one of you. It's up to us if we want to succeed. It's up to us if we want to fail. We have the vehicle. We have the legal instrument. You have leadership. You have accountability. You have transparency. We have the structure. And we have the coins. Good evening. This is Mr. Abundance.